Hey there, this is Andrew with AndroidCentral.com, and we're giving you a look at the Kyocera Torque. The Kyocera Torque is Sprint's latest ruggedized phone, and that's pretty apparent here when you start to take a walk around the hardware. You have this hard rubberized back that locks into place. You have flaps over all the doors to keep water out. Everything is nice and big and bulky. You have this big rim around the screen to keep everything locked up tight. But that doesn't mean that it feels bad in the hand necessarily. We're looking at a 4-inch diagonal display, and because of that, it's really easy to fit in the hand. I've got pretty big hands, but still, I can absolutely cover every edge of this thing at the same time if I need to. And it's only 14 millimeters thick, which is not terrible considering all of the waterproofing and things. So speaking of that, we're looking at waterproof, shockproof, dustproof, humidity proof, all of that. You could surely drive a nail into a board underwater with this thing if you so desired. So if we start around the side, you'll see a yellow direct connect button, because this has Sprint's push-to-talk direct connect service, which will only work when the phone is locked into 3G mode. So if you've got LTE turned on, you lose direct connect. But for some people that just want a rugged phone and don't need direct connect, that's okay. The volume keys are nice and springy as well. They stick out a good amount, making these a little easier to hit. Along the top here, you have a dedicated speakerphone button, which is nice. If you happen to have gloves on or something of the sort, you can just hit that and switch to speakerphone and back. And then your power lock key. And your headphone jack is situated in the middle behind one of these little ports. And they all have these nice big gaskets on the underside to keep things nice and safe. Around the other side, nothing to be found here save for a dedicated camera key, which is not a dual stage key. It's just push once to focus and take the picture. Around the bottom, we get another nice little flap for the USB port. And normally we don't care for the flaps much, but for this we understand. You have a microphone port there. You have some screws around the back to keep the industrial look going, and a 5-megapixel camera with flash up top. Unlock this with your thumbnail there, and you can see there's this big red gasket to keep the battery safe, which is really nice. This just kind of presses in very tightly. You get the contacts for the charging pins on the back. Removable battery, which can be nice if any of water ends up getting in somehow. And you have surprisingly an accessible SIM slot here. Most of Sprint's are embedded, and then all the way up in the front there you have a micro SD card spot, which you'll want because there's only 4 gigabytes of internal storage here, which makes sense for the price level that we're looking at, but is a little unfortunate because it's really not that much storage. You don't get a whole lot left over after all the apps and the ROM and everything are installed. So around the front here, you get a back, home, and menu key. Yes, hardware menu key, but they don't wake the screen, interestingly enough. It takes the power key or the direct connect key to power up the phone, which is interesting. Around the front here, you just have, as I showed you, quite a bit of a lip here on the top and bottom and sides. You'll notice that there's no speaker grill up here, and they're using kind of a weird sonic technology that sounds great. Sounds just like you have a speaker, but there's no speaker there. It just kind of resonates through the top, which is great, and one less thing for them to have to worry about for the waterproofing, which is really good. You see a couple little sensors and a front-facing camera, and that rounds out the hardware on the Kyocera Torque. It's a very nice, well-built phone, not bad at all for $100 on contract, or I believe $370 or so out of contract. Thanks for taking a look, guys.